All right, we will go ahead and get started. Just about everybody is here. So I'll just start out by saying hello, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us today. We hope these live webinars will be informative and enjoyable. Just a little housekeeping. I do have the question and answer open, so if you could please hold those questions just till the end. I will allow some time to get them answered, but I do want to cover material first. All right, just a few more people joining. Okay. So we'll go over today's agenda. You signed up for a live tutorial about AerieHub's marketing feature, markup feature, excuse me. So we'll start out with introductions and then jump on in. I'll wrap up answering any questions, like I said, and then show everybody where to access reference articles if they need a markup refresher or want to know more about their library features or submit a help ticket. Introductions. First agenda item. So I will introduce myself by saying my name is Brittany Dunnebeck. I'm the Technical Services Manager here at Erie. I've been with the company for over 7 years now, and one of my responsibilities is to curate, develop, and create the educational and training resources. So that's me. I also have Madeline and Gentry, which are your library managers here. They're also going to be monitoring that question and answer forum. I can turn it over to them briefly just to have them talk a little bit about what kind of resource they are for you.
Hi, as Brittany said, I'm one of the library managers here. What Gentry and I do is we help manage the data within specific libraries. And we're a great resource for anyone who has any questions or concerns. They can always feel free to reach out to us and we can try to help answer them, or go through the support@ariehub.com email address, and we might be the people answering too there. So we're just here to help.
Yeah, I'm Gentry. I'm a library manager with Madeline, and as Brittany mentioned earlier, we're also monitoring the Q&A chat. So if you do have any questions as Brittany is going through something, feel free to drop it in the Q&A chat, and then we'll get to it at the end of the presentation, as she said.
All right. So let's jump on in. We'll start out with the basics. If you do want to follow along on your computer, we're just going to start with logging in. So from your web browser, we do prefer that you use Chrome. Head on over to AerieHub.com or about AerieHub.com. Either one will work. And then select that AerieHub login. It's in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. All right, once you are at the login page, use your credentials, fill in that first field, and then hit next. If you're having trouble logging in or need to request an account, use that request help option to contact support. Now, if you do have SSO enabled, once you enter your email or your username, you're going to be redirected to your company's login page and you'll complete the sign-in process there. And then you won't need this next screen, but everybody who doesn't have SSO will head on over to that next screen. We're going to enter the password associated with the account and then just select sign in. If you forget your password, it happens. We can get your password reset for you. Just click that forgot password link. All right. So we have logged in. We're going to find the home page. Yours will look a little different than mine. This is just our demo library. So if you are going to follow along, go ahead and navigate to a document that you want to mark up. In this example, I'm going to select this all documents link, and that's going to take me to library search results so I can select a document from there. All right, I'm going to click on a thumbnail or the title of a document if you're in list view to open it in full screen. Here we are in thumbnail view. And this arrow shows what it looks like in list view. All right, so once we're in that full screen view, select the horizontal 3-dot More menu. It's in the upper right-hand corner of the page. That is going to open some options, and you'll see Markup being the first one. You'll select that. I'll go a little slow just to make sure everybody's going to keep up. But once we get going, it'll be pretty quick. So now you'll notice once we opened it in markup mode, that the document changes in appearance just a little bit. You'll see that toolbar at the top of the page. So we'll look a little closer at that toolbar. All right, so starting with the toolbar itself, notice that the toolbar is broken down into different areas. So tools are at the top of the page. And then once you select a tool, you have different types of tools that display on the left. So tool presets are on the right. And a tool preset is just a tool with a predefined style or color or size chosen. And you can customize those just using the down arrow and then pick whatever other style or color that you might want. All right, so we're going to look a little bit more in depth at the tools themselves. I'll go through a few examples on how to use them too, so stay tuned for that. First up, going to be annotate. That's going to be your tool to add text to a document or to highlight, underline, strike through any of the text on the document. And shapes, you guessed it, all things shapes. Insert is going to bring us to tools like stamps, signing, adding additional photos to the document. Moving on to edit, if you need to crop the document, that's the tool you'd use. Edit text has additional text and attachment options here. And then fill and sign, you could put a series of check marks on the document, possibly a task list, maybe add the date and a signature using this tool. And then the forms tool gives you the ability to add fillable fields rather, using those options. All right, so let me show you how to add a shape here. And first I'll select the shape from the toolbar. So those are the tools at the top. And then I'm going to select my shape. In this case, it's going to be a circle. All right, so now you're going to watch me draw a circle by clicking and dragging until I get the desired size. And then after I get done adding my shape, if I do need to go back and change the location or color, I would just click on the shape and move it wherever I'd like. You also have the option to customize just after clicking it as well. And this goes for any of the markups that I add. They're all editable. All right, so we'll add another markup, this time the freehand tool. We're going to draw an X on the drawing. So first I'll select the freehand tool. Notice I didn't change the tool at the top, so we're still in shape. I'm just going to select a different type of tool. If I wanted to change the color here, I could go pick that down arrow and select a different color from the list. I'm going to stick with green. And then I'm going to use that same down arrow and close the customization option. All right, here I'll add the green X by using the mouse like a pencil, clicking where I want my line to stop, and then releasing where I want my line to stop. Just like you would a pencil. Oh, start and stop, excuse me. Not too different than how you'd usually use something. All right, I'm going to add text now. So I do need to change tools to add text. So I'm going to go up to the top of the toolbar, select Annotate. And then I'll select the freehand tool, which is that red T. I'm going to follow the same process as before, click and drag where I want my text, and then type the text in the box provided. Notice after I type the text, I do have the option to customize the color and size. All right. So now you can see I've added my markups and I want to save them. To do that, I'm going to look for the save icon. It's in the upper right-hand corner. I'm just going to click that option. And in that prompt, I'm going to add a note if I want, and then I'll select Yes, Save. All right, after I select Yes, Save, you can see that the markup now opens in another tab. So you can see at that top, a new tab has opened. There are my markups, and I'm no longer on the original document. So you can rest assured that your markups and additions did not affect the original document, and instead, a new marked up version has been saved. So if I go back to the previous tab, the one I was just using to do the markups, you can see there's a confirmation that my document has been saved and a new document version has been added. All right. So now you're probably asking, well, how do I get back to those markups? And to answer that, I'll head back to that first tab, the one we started from where we chose the document, and I'm going to point out two icons. So once we've added a markup, I do need to refresh the page using this icon here. That's icon number 1. Refreshing the page adds or updates the markup icon. That's icon number 2. It's going to indicate that a document has markups. So let's take a look at what happens when we select the markup icon, which is what the arrow is pointing to right here. Okay, so by clicking the markup icon, I gain access to a bunch of different things. And here's what you see when you click on the icon. So you can see document versions. So this table that opens shows the markups and the additional document versions associated with the document. So this could be additional, maybe older copies of the document. And you notice this type column, that's going to be a good indicator of whether a document is a markup or not. I can also search in document version, so searching a keyword in the row. And then if I click the blue-green link, just like most links in AerieHub, they're that blue-green color, I can open the document version or markup. And then if I click that 3-dot menu in the actions column, I can see I have the ability to edit or delete. And don't worry, you can only edit or delete your own markups. All right. So moving on, okay, I have showed you how to access the markup feature, apply your own markups, save them, and view the markups as document versions. And we can move on to questions. If you guys want me to show you anything, I can go back. I'll look for any comments or questions in that Q&A, and if not, I can move on. We've had a few questions come up, so I did do a little bit of a show on what those questions are in this next area. So the questions that frequently come up when we do trainings like this, are these right here. How do I edit the color of a shape after it's placed? So I'll just show you how to do these things. That way you get a little bit more understanding of how to use the markup feature. So how do I edit? You would just go back to the shape in this case and click on it. And that opens the customization options. And here I'm going to change that rectangle from green to purple. And then I'll click out of the customization options to close. And that's how you would edit a markup after you've placed it. All right, so the next couple of things, depending on your privileges in AerieHub, you may have the ability to do these, or you may not. So you'd contact your library manager or your ambassador for AerieHub at your company to get those permissions added. So the next being, how do I email a markup? So first we're going to get to the markup that we want to email. So using that markup icon and then clicking the blue-green link of the markup you'd like to email, heading to that three-dot menu and opening the options and just selecting email. You'll fill in the fields and then select if you'd like a PDF or a link to be attached to the document. We do suggest strongly to use that link, and then you just hit send. So here I can go through it one more time. So selecting the document you'd like to email, and then opening that three-dot menu and selecting email from the list. Filling in those fields, specifying if you'd like a PDF attached or just a link to AerieHub, and then hitting that send button. All right, and the last one, again, depending on your privileges, you might have the question of how do I download a markup? So we'll follow basically the same process as email. Whatever markup you'd like to download, you'll access it via the document versions table or that markup icon. And then from the three-dot menu, select download. It's going to ask you where you want to save it, and then it'll download automatically to your computer. And you just hit save and it'll download. I can run through that one just one more time. So again, opening the three-dot more menu, selecting download. All right. Moving on. I'm just going to point out a couple of things to conclude the webinar that might be helpful.
And we got one more question.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Bill was wondering, will this work on an iPad? And yes, absolutely, it will work on an iPad. You just open up the document like you would going through AerieHub on an iPad, and then those three dots will still be there, so you can save it. You can do all of the functionality on an iPad.
Great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I will just show you how to access our help desk in these next couple of minutes. So under your search bar, you'll see the help tab. And then if you expand that tab, you'll see help desk. That's going to bring you to our knowledge base. And there you have access to not just articles on markup if you do need a refresher, but a whole host of other things if you want to know more about how to use your library or just want some more information. You'll also see the option to submit a help ticket, which is this button right here, new ticket. And then if you do want to reach out to us directly, you can just hit that support at AerieHub.com, and that's going to open up the form to email us. All right. So thank you so much for joining us. We do send out a monthly Tech Tuesday email that has tips and tricks and info on how to get the most out of your library. So be on the lookout for that. Appreciate your time and your attention today. Feel free to stick around and ask more questions. We'd also love feedback or suggestions on what we should cover next. And then if not, you can have a great day. But I will turn it over to Madeline and Gentry so that they can do our drawing.
Yeah, so if you joined today, we have entered you into a drawing just for a little gift card since we've taken some time out of your lunch hour for a lunch place. If you win, we'll be in contact with you. We have your contact information to find out what's in your area and help choice the theme of 2 different things. All right. See you then.
All right, so we're just gonna randomly select. All right, so the winner is gonna be Jim. I don't want to mispronounce your last name. I apologize for you now.
Jim G.
We will be sending you a follow-up email and sending you a gift card and email as well.
Great. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great day.